boys taking L's out here. Not up. Wow, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So, all right, boom. Let me see. I'm gonna put this on Facebook. Put it on Meta.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the one with bad communication though, because
You said it goes with communication.
no, I was thinking the one with bad communication. One of the, I don't know if he was hot. Are we live? We live. It don't matter.
Absolutely.
Whatever.
Absolutely.
I did an interview one time, and the person, I don't know, I can't confirm or deny, but we'll talk about this one later too.
Yeah.
Answers was yes, no. Eyes was this low. Not. It's almost like, what was your hardest? Have you ever had conflict with a boss? What'd you do? Oh man, talk to them.
You're like, okay, what y'all talk about?
Yeah, I'm asking follow-up questions to my questions already. I'm just like, no. Learn how to, so communication.
Yeah, communication rules nation. I'm trying to see if I can get this to load up. It's not loading up for me. Here we go. So boom. Nah, I mean, I think it's a big issue though. A lot of people don't understand the basics to trying to get yourself employed. You're supposed to put your best foot forward. You know what I'm saying? So at the end, at the basics, you should be promoting yourself today, like who you are today.
Exactly.
Trying to sell yourself. That ain't the employer's job to figure out who you are.
Exactly. If I ask you a question, you should be ready for that. Especially like ever had conflict with a coworker or a superior or about a manager. Oh yeah, we just talked it out.
Like what? Like all right, because I feel like that's a traditional question.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's one you should practice if you know you about to. That's one of the ones on the page. I have like 10 questions that if I kind of run out of stuff, because I try to just freestyle, kind of like we do. I kind of like just get the vibe of the person. It's like, man, we can teach this person how to be a case manager. I like this person. But I have someone that's like, we kind of staring at each other, and I'm like, so I gotta look down. I got like 10 little cheat questions I need to look at sometimes. If the vibe ain't,
just to get it
flowing.
going.
Yeah, if it's not flowing, I'm like, let me ask this. But for the most part, I'm like, man, how you doing? Where you from? We chopping. I'm trying to get a good vibe. But when you can't even communicate with somebody that you applied, for that,
you don't want this job.
Role,
you don't want this job.
You don't want the job.
You don't want this job.
You don't want the job. And a lot of the young ones, I love my young people. Yeah.
They don't have, but you know what everybody's gonna say though about that. Social media.
100%. They don't even know how to talk. They don't practice the answers. They don't go do mock interviews like we did in college. You know what I'm saying? I did mock interviews in college. So
yeah, they used to tapping that phone and giving answers, you know what I'm saying, and being premeditated, but then when you get in front of people it's different. And I think I was reading something where they were saying that's why the service industry where people actually deal with people is going to start booming, because the people that can actually make interpersonal connections are going to be the ones that's way more marketable. And you know what I'm saying, these years coming forward, because of all the AI and the automated everything, there's just nobody knowing the art of how to do what they do anymore. They just know the technique, because that's what we, that's where advancements have taken us. I put that on Facebook too, by the way. So if you want to share that, you see.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
So I'm gonna share the mission statement with the audience, so we can get to rocking and rolling, give y'all some value, because y'all know how we get down. Ooh, whole bunch of gems, whole bunch of light, whole bunch of energy, and half the podcast. But we good.
Not for real.
All right, let's see. Boom. Hey, so you can see my screen?
Huh?
You see my screen?
Oh, I'm sharing.
Yeah, you can see it. So we got the Be a Light mission statement. We are the #1 mentorship for mindset development, career ascension education, and leadership cultivation. Our DNA is we are authentic, positive. We respect all sex, race, religion, views, and preference. And we like to have a great sense of humor, like to have a good time. This is a mentorship podcast, mental health podcast. This is a podcast where we aim to make people's lives better because of the existence of what we do. Let's see. I'm trying to make this bad boy right here revert. Hopefully, it's not going to be a player hater. Okay. We good, Jay Jones?
I don't see nothing.
You'll see it on there?
Oh, okay. I see you now. I can see you.
Show that.
Yeah, we here.
Yeah, we
Be
here.
Like podcast.
Yeah.
It's your boy Jay Jones with my
dog.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the Be Alike podcast. It's your boy K Slow here with my dog.
Jay Jones. You know what I'm talking about? Just like old time.
Yeah. Virtual dap. Been a minute since the 1-2. Been a minute since the 1. Yep.
Is it 2020?
It feels like 20. It feels nostalgic. It feels like back when I was on the MacBook and you was on the cell phone laying on the bed upside down like this right here. And we were just getting right, learning. Learning.
Now we ain't new to this. We're true to this.
True to this. Veterans in the game. I mean, I can't say that I have anybody that I know that's run a podcast for this long. 3 years strong. You know what I'm saying? We like the big dogs now, really.
We're big dogs. We're OGs.
You like
we can teach people how to do this.
For real. That's probably coming soon, really. Yeah. But I think that shout out to our other members of the podcast. Shout out to Nate G, shout out to your brother, Marcus English. Because I would say that those two men, I feel like, have helped elevate this podcast and add a lot of value as well from the inception, the creativity that we put into this, and then just where it's grown to and where we want it to go. I think we can credit all that success to all of our work and coming consistently for y'all, you know what I'm saying, dropping gems. And this is a mental health podcast, y'all. We do this for y'all. It's free. You know what I'm saying? We're not doing this for money. We're doing this for community. So man, we can get into it. You know what I'm saying? We was talking about a little topic, we career extension education as well. So we do want to tell y'all things about your career, how to help you level up. You know what I'm saying? We're not by any means where we want to be, but we do notice things. We are professionals. And Jay Jones, being the professional that he is, has a story for y'all. So Jay Jones, if you could help us out, you know what I'm saying? All our people that's looking for jobs, they trying to get right, you know what I'm saying? Switch it up. It's that time of year for them. Just break down this little story, what went wrong and what could go right, and et cetera. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So first of all, update your resume, please. Put your new address, put your new phone number, put your new email, all those types of things. Because I'm the type of person I don't do the background checks, but I do the paper for the background checks, and I usually use your resume, but I ask before. Hey, is this the correct email? Is this the correct phone number? It's almost like a test.
Yeah.
Because I want to know that you on top of your stuff, And I had a young man who decent interview, not bad. I was on the fence, but we get to the last part of the interview and I'm like, hey, for the background check, I have your resume here. Is this all correct? And he's like, no, that's not my right phone number. No, that's not my right email. No, that's not. I'm just like, so it's almost like you did this. You had to do this. I ain't gonna say a year ago, but it had to be a previous resume that you didn't update and you brought it in here. And I feel like you're not on top of your stuff. So why would I hire you for the position that I direct? It'll make my job harder. So, and then I had another one, young man. I hate to say it.
Yeah. Our young brothers out here, man. We're trying to talk to y'all too.
Yeah, he just, I have open-ended questions because I want to hear you talk. I want to hear your responses. And it was a lot of yes, no, yeah. And then even like, have you ever had conflict with a coworker, a manager or something? He was like, oh yeah, we just talked it out. And it's like, yeah, I need you to communicate with me. I need to see where your mind is to hire you. I can't just guess that you know what you're doing or guess that you know how to talk and communicate with others. I need to hear you talk to me, and you need to impress me just a little bit so I can be like, oh yeah, I need this guy on my team. So,
no, real talk. And that's the most disheartening part about that whole spiel you just gave was the fact that you got one brother coming into a job. You saying you want this job to come make money and add value to the team, but you're telling me before when I'm asking you questions that you know that these things on your resume are not right, bro. Why you even put in the application? why'd you have the audacity to think that you was gonna get this job when you haven't updated your phone number, your email? How am I gonna contact you?
Like if I didn't ask those questions, which he obviously didn't get the job. But yeah, if I just wrote down what I thought, we never would have even he wouldn't have got the job anyway. We don't know how to contact him. So it's just little things like that. Like, come on, man. Like, and I know back when I was in college, we did mock interviews and they kind of taught us the tricks and the trades and the questions that you might get. So
Yeah.
I mean, if you need to practice, if you have a friend, if y'all need to watch YouTube, Google, y'all have everything in y'all hands.
Yeah, and people already. I mean, they've always put stuff out online, and they've been helping people. And I mean, there's a lot of different, like you said, Googling resources and talk to people that have done what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the best game I ever got from trying to get jobs. Is like if I'm trying to get a job in a field where I know somebody else in that field, get with them so you can structure your resume similar. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily the same experiences. You don't share those, but at least learn how that people in that field look at resumes. Like when I started teaching and I stopped coaching so much, I flipped my resume to where it wasn't showing as much coaching stuff on top. Flipped it to where I was showing the education part because it pertains to the position I'm going for. So I feel like stuff like that, like, you know what I'm saying? These certain people don't know, certain people think the resume is not really as important, which I would go out on a limb and say people ain't wrong for saying that. It really ain't that important, but it is when you don't do it correctly. So it becomes important that you do the wrong things on it. It's like put the basics on it.
Like you said, if I'm in my field of counseling, human development, if I'm just putting lows and if that's your experience, put that. But like he's saying, if you do have some type of counseling experience, some type of internship that you did, something, let me see that so I can just, because I know young people fresh out of college, I still hire them if they do have lows and Home Depot. I love that you work through college, but I'm saying if you have an internship, I might see they're like, oh, that's impressive. And then when I talk to you, have some good answers.
Talk back.
I love communicating with young people. I've hired so many young people. Like I said, they come in, and our job you don't even have to wear a suit or anything. It's almost like collar shirt and a jeans is cool with us because we like to blend in with our community. We go out and see the clients. Yeah. So we don't even have to come in here, tuxedo down, suit down. You
come as you are.
Come as you are. But it's almost like the communication piece is huge with me. And if I'm doing the hiring,
you got to be able to
communicate. Yeah, so because that's what we do. That's big in our job. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm gonna hire you to go see my clients and you don't know how to talk, how you gonna teach them?
Yep. And I think the undervaluing of communication is an issue generationally. We at that point now where people now valuing face-to-face communication like we once have. I mean, y'all, we're not able to do the metaverse quite yet in the way that we want to. So we're not doing the virtual stuff. We in person, y'all. And I think when it comes to social media, there's an etiquette and how you communicate on there. I think we're even leveling up on there because people are learning a lot of stuff and meeting good people online that they can communicate with. But communication is still a problem though. Like we got a lot of people that's struggling with that, and that's keeping people out of positions. It's taking money out your pocket. Short story, man. I feel like when I learned how to speak a little bit of Spanish, not even a lot, but a little bit, un poco. Once I got there, Jay Jones, I feel like my clientele, as far as Spanish speakers, it helped out so much with our rapport. Or when I'm teaching with my Spanish speaking students, it helps build that relationship towards I could teach them so much better. When they know I know a little bit of their language, I know a little bit of what's going on in their culture, it kind of builds that trust, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's the thing we got to remember with communication. It's all about building trust, about building understanding, about learning who we dealing with. And resumes shouldn't be nothing more than a conversation. It shouldn't, or not resumes, interviews. It should be a conversation. Can't hold conversation. So now y'all losing these positions, and we here to help y'all, you know what I'm saying? And we could talk about the laws of light. Jay Jones, I have a question real quick. We're talking about the laws of light because y'all, I feel like we've been telling y'all about this book. Jay Jones, tell everybody your opinion on the laws of light. You know what I'm saying? Just break it down a little bit of the work we put behind the scenes a little bit. Just your perspective on what this is going to do for everybody. And,
this book will change your life. It's almost like the blueprint. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like you can read this book and you can pick a law, something you struggle with, and you can pick a chapter that you struggle with, and it's so much information that we put in it that people are gonna be like, man, I needed that. Kind of like the podcast. It's almost like the podcast in the book. We just putting our experiences, our thoughts in this book. And like Kerry said, we're not even where we need to be. We still need some laws of light too, but it's almost like this is what we know, and this is the game we're gonna give, and y'all gonna love it, man. It's gonna be great when it comes out. So
it's gonna take people to read it for real and then practice it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's gonna open up that opportunity for us all to practice it. Because with us calling them laws, obviously playing on the Robert Greene laws of 48 laws of power, but these laws of life. When them being laws, it's like you can't work around these things. Like you have to be able to do these things. It's not like we just saying this off opinion. These are things that we came up with as a group of 4 men that are practicing constantly becoming better. We've identified these as laws, and we want you guys to be able to tap in and be able to grow with us on this journey. So specifically talking about communication, like we can kind of jump into
that's crazy, huh?
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. So going into it, with the law of communication, I put in my section, I talked about the application of communication, right? How we get this done on a basic level. I want to get into 4 different pieces, and then you can bring your addition to this, bro. We could talk about this and just because we explained a little bit beforehand how we saw communication and the issues with it and things like that. But when you guys are communicating, it's very important that y'all know your audience, right? So know who you talking to. Do not talk to children the same way you talk to adults. Do not talk to your friends the same way you talk to professionals. Elders deserve a certain level of respect. When women are in the room, men, there's a certain level of attention you pay to the words coming out of your mouth. You always have to know your audience, because certain things come out your mouth and turn people off. So that's the first part of the application. Then think about them and what message that this has for them, right? So when you're communicating with people, what are people getting from it? What's the thesis? What's the home point? Because you're going to say a lot, or you may say a little, but no matter what, I should walk away from that interaction knowing what you were trying to tell me and what we can get from this moving forward. Then this one's big. Y'all need to listen, right? Because when we don't listen, then now you put yourself in a situation where, like Jay Jones was telling me a minute ago, you just talking, or you're listening and preparing your response, right? So, and at that point, this conversation is not going anywhere. We're not doing anything, because you've been a narcissist at this point. Like, you making it about you, and you're not thinking about me and what I can get from this. And then keep it real, keep it funky. So let's dive into it, Jay Jones. I mean, with communication, what do you think? Even going into the application and some of the issues, like, how do you feel like communication is playing a role in what's going on today?
I think God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, like you said.
Ooh,
I think we should.
Yeah. I like that one.
We should listen. Yeah, we should listen more than we speak. I mean, I know people who I'm talking to. It's almost like it's like when you finish, I'm like, you're not listening to me. Like, you are ready to spit out what you spitting out. Like, but it's almost like an argument at that point. My point needs to be heard. Your point needs to be heard. But we're not getting anywhere. I think when you listen to somebody, you try to hear what they're saying. Active listening. You hear what they're saying, and it's almost like, I understand that, but this is my, we can have a great conversation. I understand your point. This is my point. And at the end of those conversations, y'all come to like a common agreement. It's almost like, I got you, bro. Like, that was a great conversation. And when people just like, no, I don't even get to finish my sentence. You're like, but I think that it's the disrespect, and respect is really my favorite word. So I try to respect people as much as I can with my listening skills. I mean, like I just said, my job is a lot of listening, because clients don't come in and I tell them it's almost like, this is what I went through. This is what I need help with. Can you teach me these coping strategies? I don't say, when in the middle of them saying, man, I had a bad day yesterday. I'm like, man, me too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to listen to what they have to say, because I'm trying to help them. And some days, when they need me to talk more, I will talk more. I will say, hey, this is what I went through. This is how I fixed it. So I think, relationships, friendships, we all need to learn how to try to listen, and then when it's your turn to talk, talk. But like you said, social media, and I don't think people talk to each other anymore. It's almost like everybody just wants to get their point across. If somebody posts something and I can comment under it, I don't even care what they're saying. I want people to like my post. I want people to look at my pictures,
Yeah,
That's what we.
that's crazy. That's real.
Yeah, we're
That's
not like actively listening. We're just trying. Everybody just screaming what they screaming right now. Like, I want you to see my stuff. I'm more
yeah.
important than this person. So
I think that the level of patience it takes to be able to listen is important. I think also when you're talking about listening too, that's the cheat code in any profession, any career. Because when you listen to the people that you serve, then you're gonna be able to produce a better product. And I think that's something like when you're talking about with your people. If you go into your situations with your clients and you're telling them what to do all the time, but you never hear them, they're not doing anything you're talking about. Like they're not gonna
mm-hmm.
do it because they're like, he didn't hear nothing I just said. I just
Mm-hmm.
told him I ain't got no money. You know what I'm saying? My mama tripping. I'm 35. I'm still in the house. Like I'm depressed. He ain't listening to nothing. He telling me I need to do coping strategies, but he not listening to me. Because if you
Mm-hmm.
listen, sometimes when you listen, I think there's very simple answers that'll come to you when you could pull in your memory bank and be like, oh yeah, I've seen this before. But you gotta be just like, you gotta be listening, not talking. Cause I feel like once you start saying stuff, sometimes some people talk through their thoughts, and those are the people that end up being the hardest to communicate with. Because then they'll say something where they'll be like, well, I didn't mean this. It's like, well, maybe you should have just stopped talking and collected your thoughts before you opened your mouth, because now you cluttered the whole message.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't even know what I may feel disrespected again by something you let out your mouth through your thinking process.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
And,
I like
yeah,
that quote.
you
2
said
years in one
something. But no, you said something big too. Sometimes when you listen, God speaks through you. Maybe when you're quiet, you will hear your response. Maybe you don't even know your response, and God's just like, this is what this person needs. Like maybe I don't know sometimes what the client needs, and me listening when they're going through what they're going through, that's almost like, ooh, I never even. And then you kind of get that, that answer, and it's almost like, man, it's almost like your brain gives you the answer. You're like, oh, I didn't say that. You know what I'm saying? When you
always
listening,
feel like that.
yeah, when you listening quiet, when you're quiet and listening, it's almost like you listen. Ooh, this is kind of hard. You're not thinking that like while you're you just kind of like, ooh, and then you might get the answer when you're listening. So just try, y'all. I mean, I get it. I used to be somebody that wanted to get my point across too. It's really hard. It's patience, because you're like, I don't want to forget. I don't want to forget. I don't,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But I mean, your point is gonna come across because it's coming out of you. So I feel like if you're being authentic with no matter what language you're speaking, if you're being authentic, people are gonna get it if you have that intention on what's coming out of your mouth. But I think sometimes, like you said, we want it to be perfect with the way we deliver the message, and then it's like now you missed the whole message somebody else was giving you. So you got to be able to just listen and take it in. And I feel like most times, bro, when I go into interactions with people, I just assume that I don't know anything. Like I'm a blank slate with people. Like I go into almost every interaction with a blank slate. Now I may know you, so I kind of know your temperament, so I know what's going on in the situation. But every day, I don't know what you got going on today. Like I don't know what I got going on today. I started today on a brand new sheet of paper, so I feel like you're on the same thing. So when I'm talking to you, you know what I'm saying? When I talk to my clients, I literally I'm blank. I'm letting them talk to me. They filling up that data. And then once I got something, I notice something, I say, well, you ever thought about this? And that may be the one answer they needed to be able to get through whatever it is or go where they're trying to go. So, you know what I'm saying? I think we do that. We listen to other people, listen to ourselves more importantly, because, that's a base of communication, knowing where the heck you coming from, keeping it authentic, keeping it real, and not regurgitating stuff that other people saying to you. You know what I'm saying? I think that's important, especially when it comes to I've been trying my best not to battle on social media when I see this, but I'm gonna say it because we on here right now, and this is gonna be on here forever. But men and women, children need both parents.
I
Okay.
saw that.
Yeah. I put that on my story, and the reason why I'm saying I've been trying not to battle is because I've been seeing a lot of big time influencers, big time people with a huge following, jumping on social media and talking about how, they baby daddy is gone, lost the case, whatever, and they don't need him around. I don't need them. Good riddance. Me and my kids gonna be good now. I'm gonna give them the best life ever. Or baby daddy's talking about how mamas is doing XYZ. They going to the club anyway. I just need my son. I need my daughters. All they need is daddy around. I could pull the weight. Misogynistic views, feminist views, all this stuff. It's like, bruh, stop, let it go. Because we're not gonna understand this experience without the other side. Like mothers and fathers, it have to communicate. Whether you can do it or not, whether it works well for you or not, it's irrelevant because these babies are a product of the interaction, of the love that was created in the short time it was, and maybe it died. But this is now the love child.
Mhm.
There's no way this child's not gonna have that same love for mommy and daddy, no matter how worthless or lazy or rude or abusive, bummish. They're still gonna love that person. So it's like, bruh, stop getting on social media and spreading the narrative that we don't need both. You sound less than intelligent. I'm gonna say that. If Nate was here,
He would call
y'all
you
know,
stupid.
yeah, he would go dumb on y'all right now.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give y'all the politically correct answer. So I'm gonna say y'all need to cut that. You know what I'm saying? I just had to put that out there, bro.
No, that's real because both parents are so important, or both influences. Like you said, don't say you're gonna do it by yourself. Don't say, and that's crazy. That's the second thing. But don't say you're gonna do it by yourself. It's so much. It takes a village. It takes a village, and it is some people that some days that you just kind of gotta get away from, and it is some moms that you probably have to get away from. But it still takes a village.
Yeah, it takes that. It takes that want to. You know what I'm saying? That understanding what's most important. At the end of the day, us as men and women, the only valuable things we do here is we give value to the youth and where they're taking our future. Right? Everything we do literally has to get passed down somewhere. Like we can't die with whatever we have, whether that be finances, money, same thing, ideas, assets. We can't die with this stuff. Like they'll find a way to disperse it. We got to make sure that we give everything down to the youth, and we can't do that in broken families. So you got to figure out a way to mend your situation so your kids don't carry this trauma. You know what I'm saying? And then keep operating and perpetuating that will of death, which is, you know what I'm saying, no communication, non-communication. We don't need that. We need to communicate. Use your mouths, use your minds, you know what I'm saying? But talking about, the light, we talked about assistance, right? So this kind of pivots into that assistance because, same thing. If you need both, like even in relationships, you need another energy to balance you. Like you're supposed to have something to balance you in every relationship that works. I guess it kind of help that healthy medium. You probably could speak to that a little bit. But when talking about the law of assistance, bro, what did we put into the book, man? Just break it down for people with the law, the quotes that we use in the book.
This is just a small quote. We can't give them everything. Not just one.
Yeah. We give them thumbs up.
Accepting help means willing to admit that you can't do everything on your own and being open to receiving support from others. It means recognizing that everyone needs help from time to time, and there's no shame in asking for assistance. By accepting help, you can learn from others, get the support you need to achieve your goals, and build strong relationship with the people around you. That goes back to communication too. So there isn't anybody on this earth that reaches their goals on their own. We all have weaknesses, and finding people to teach you just makes you better. So like the thing I remember is it's just small, but I remember some coach told me back in the day. I don't even remember if it was hard to say. It might have been high school. That even coaches, we have coordinators. We have offensive coordinator. We have a defense coordinator. We have a special teams. All coaches are not the strongest at everything, but they go try to find the best at the next position. They try to find the best quarterback coach, the best running backs coach. Some head coaches don't even have a position they coach. They just oversee everything, but they still go try to find the people that has the strengths they need because I can't do it by myself. Coaches can't do it by themselves. Nobody on this earth can do it by themselves. But, I mean, you talked about Dame Lillard, another prime example. One of the greatest players. I ain't gonna lie. He's one of my favorite players. He has the attitude I like. He everything. He wants to win. Kobe-esque. But he can't. Nobody can do it by themselves. Kobe, Jordan, nobody can do it by themselves. So it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to know I'm weak in this area, but my friend is really strong in this area. Maybe he can teach me. Now y'all both elevate. You teach him something, he teach you something. We both elevate. So that's my thing. I hate when I see one deep and I'm like you kind of said, this I can do this parenting thing by myself. I'm one deep. I don't need nobody else. Not one person. Jesus needs. You know what I'm saying? Like we all need somebody.
It's disciples.
No.
Yeah, and I think when you're talking about basketball too, you said Jordan. I remember in both Kobe and Jordan had that sensei, you know what I'm saying, Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
When Phil pulled up that triangle offense for those amazing basketball players, both guys got them rings they was looking for. And when I'm talking about that, you know what I'm saying, they talked about in The Last Dance how Jordan initially fought back. He was like, why are you taking the ball out of my hands? I'm, you know what I'm saying, averaging 30 points a game. Like I'm killing the league. But then Phil Jackson said, look, you got a team. Like there are 4 other guys on that court that have skills and they have gifts. Like you figure out a way to get them theirs, and then getting yours is gonna be easier. Now we all can play the way we want to play and play championship basketball. We can't be stopped there. And we talking about the law of assistance. That's like our mentor groups. That's why we building what we building with Be a Light. Having great mentors, having great people around you. That's like building that 96 Bulls, 92 Bulls. You know what I'm saying? 2000 Lakers. Like we building that team where shoot. Hey, I may not be a shooter, you know what I'm saying? I may be like Shaq, and I just eat down low. And that's you never ask this. Shaq never hit 2 free throws in a row. But he never hit 2 free ever. Never hit 2 free throws in a row. But bro was dominant. One of the most dominant basketball players of all time. Why? Because he had D Fish, Rick Fox, Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have a team. You gotta get assistance. Got to ask for help, and you can hold it down. You're supposed to build yourself up. Like I think for me, that's been my thing. I've always like hammer. I'm gonna work. But what I learned as I got older was like you're gonna run out of energy, bro. You're gonna run out of focus. You're gonna run out of care. Like at some point, you're gonna want to give up. And when you want to give up, it's because you're doing stuff. You hustling backwards. Folks don't understand when you hustling backwards. When you start hustling backwards, that means you are working in your weakness. Stop working in your weakness. Find somebody good at your strengths. Y'all can move forward together. It's hard.
100%. It's hard. And I know pride is one of the Bible talks about how pride can kill you. Like he said, you're going to run out of energy. Not literally die, but you might run out of energy and not finish the goal. But if you get somebody with that strength and both of y'all reach the goal, both of y'all eat, or 3 or 4 or 5, multiply, So, pride, don't let pride kill you. And I'm not talking about death. I'm talking about kill your dreams, kill everything. You know what I'm saying? Kill relationships. So
what would you say? What would you say is one of the worst examples of pride stopping somebody from being successful?
Well, for a second, my boy Kobe. I think the young Kobe won 3 rings with Shaq. Then it was kind of like, I want to do this by myself. I don't need Phil or Shaq. So they both left. Yeah, and we hired Rudy Tomjanovich as our coach, who was a champion with the Rockets back in 94-95. That's my dog, H-Time. Yeah. But he wasn't for Kobe. Kobe needed somebody he had to respect. Rudy Tom, he was a great coach, but he needed Phil. I think having Phil, the sensei, the 11-time NBA, it's almost like
you had to submit to that greatness.
Why would you not want, I don't need you. I'm going to show you, I don't need Shaq or Phil Jackson. Watch this. No playoffs. First round exit. Okay. I might not need Shaq. Shaq gone. Go get Phil. And go.
Is this 81? Is this 81, Kobe? Is this 80? This when he scored 81? Is during this time frame?
Yeah, we went to the first round of the playoffs, and then we ain't get past the Suns. We lost to the Suns 2 years in a row. But yeah, it's almost like he was like, go get Phil. Like, okay, because it's almost Phil wrote a book basically like, I can't coach this dude when he, that's when they went together. He called like, hey, I need you, Phil. Phil come back, they get Paul Gasol also, but Phil comes back, then we get the triangle back. Yeah. Kobe wins 2 more championships. But without Phil and Shaq, even though Kobe, my boy, he's my favorite, but that pride won for a little bit, and God had to sit him down.
So, man, you know what? If they had social media back then when Kobe was playing, I feel like that would have made it harder for him to submit as well in regards to the greatness of Phil Jackson being his coach, because of the way that now we elevate that short view, like that front and center person so much. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a player dominated league now. Coaches to get fired for anything because it's like, how could you not win with the James Harden? It's like, it's not a team player. Like I got to coach a team. He over here taking all the shots. Like I was like, how, I think nowadays, and it's not like a knock, because it could be a benefit as well, because I think that there's a lot of confidence coming out of these types of athletes. But I'm just saying that, there's always somebody behind the scenes working just as hard, if not harder, than the people that you see in the front. You know what I'm saying? The people that you see on the screens, man, these people that you see doing these amazing things, there's always a team. There's always somebody recording on the camera, that you don't see. The cameraman is there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? There's always somebody that's serving the dinners, serving the lunches, serving the, you never
Breaking
know.
down the film.
Breaking down the film, man. Talking about these teams, hey, coaching is so heavily predicated on film. Team success and film breakdown makes average players look amazing. These average players, these average performers, once the analytics get into this, it almost makes it where you unbeatable. Bro, you can't mess this up. We already know what we gave you we laid it all out statistically. 75% of the time he's going to the left. When he shoots it on the left side, he has a 15% hit range from the baseline. We know this. You just keep him on the baseline. 15%, he plays 60 games. They're not winning if we put their best player in this spot. Do it, you win the game. It's like people don't understand there's so many people doing so much work. It's not just the front and center. So you have to value the team. You got to value everybody. The janitor, you value him. The president, you value him. And you value yourself enough to get the help from these people.
Yeah.
Actually.
But no, I could say, Phil won 11. He won 6 with Jordan, 5 with Kobe. Kobe ain't win without Phil. Jordan ain't win without Phil. So,
yeah,
that's 100%. Yeah. They championships with, so. Yeah.
He's immortalized. He's immortalized.
Yeah, I definitely think that's
Nick Saban? Is Nick Saban immortalized? This is a sidebar.
Yeah, no, he is. I think lately, I can't say lately he's been number 5 in the nation is not trash. But I think Georgia just caught up. But no, Nick is, he's probably still, I think people still thinks he's the best coach out there.
Does he get another national championship?
I don't know. Them horns coming to the SEC. No, I'm just playing.
You're not playing. You're not playing. Don't try to play it off real quick. Like, oh no. Nah.
Georgia's really good. Georgia's really good right now. That's all I'm gonna say.
Say this. I think Nick Saban kind of got in that spot where he stopped getting assistance as much from the type of coaching that, Kirby Smart is. Like, he ain't got them type of coaches no more. He started getting Lane Kiffins and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like you see it all over. That's all I'm saying. I feel like that kind of. Anyway.
Yeah, but the coaches he created, the Kirby, like you said, the coaches he put out there. Even I don't hate to say it, but Steve Sarkisian is at Texas because of Nick Saban. So he still has a lot of influence over college football, even if he's not winning national championships. He's still winning big bowl games and top 5 in the nation. That's still really, really, that's really, really hard.
So. It's very hard. It's very hard, but transfer portal ain't making it no easier on none of these jokers.
And there's money, man. There's money.
NIL money is transfer, boy. Stop playing. You better stop
playing.
Why
go to Tuscaloosa? And I'm not saying anybody should go anywhere. Why go to Tuscaloosa when you can come to Austin and live a good life and get paid more? The people Nick Saban used to get probably gonna think about it. You in the SEC now. It's almost like I want to play in the SEC and I can stay in Texas. I know A&M's been there, but A&M, I can be in Austin.
ATL.
That's tough. I am a fan, by the way. Y'all probably know that. So
big fan, burnt orange. He sounds like one. But you know what though? You're right though. You're right, and I think that's the thing. Kind of doubling back down. We want to talk about some things that would help you guys build that light from within, and man, just get that help. You know what I'm saying? Get that help, because if you get the help, young man that showed up to the job interview with your resume unupdated.
You might have got the job.
You might have got the job, bro. You might have got the job. It's not about what you know. It's about who you know. Meet somebody that's not going to let you go outside. The end. How are we unlocking the light, bro?
Man, lately, it's just been, I've been praying a lot. It's been a lot more prayer. I've been praying, but it's been like just trying to stay closer to God, communicate more with God.
Yeah.
I feel like I fell off for a little bit. I think life was really busy for a while. Like I said, April got married, May. It's just been a lot. Birthday, just So I think sometimes I just come home, go to sleep, and I just wake up and go to work. It was kind of like, it was
Hamster
just,
wheel.
yeah, it was almost like brain was just on autopilot. So
Yeah.
I've been trying to do more praying, talking to God, listening, you know,
Real talk.
to get better. Because I mean, even though, like you always say, Gary, when you're doing great, you can always get better. 1% better every day. That's all,
100%.
you know. So
Real talk. And I would second that. Man, God is my center. And I feel like the greatness within us, we gotta expect it from ourselves and not give ourselves breaks. I think we just gotta keep being real with ourselves and make sure that we honoring God, make sure that we honoring our family, honoring our morals, our ethics. You know, there's a lot of different decisions that you make every day. And I think you gotta really be sure that when you lay your head on that pillow, the decisions you made today you can live with, you know, because nobody else is coming to save you. Your life is a product of your own decision making. So I say that's how we're gonna get the light out. Ownership, own your stuff. I would say something else if it wasn't the Be a Light podcast. But that's for
on your
the
stuff.
exclusive. Yeah, that's the exclusive one. We're gonna do some exclusive ones so we can kick it real and raw for folks, man. But yeah, man. Be Like podcast. Jay Jones, got anything for the people?
I'm not even gonna do that. I was about to say something crazy.
Hey, it's cool, man.
No, it was too crazy. I'm gonna
Too
tell
crazy.
you. I'm gonna tell you. We gonna have that'll be one of the.
Yeah.
That'll be one of the. We gonna do like a podcast of just funny moments or whatever, or something like that.
Okay. That's the bloopers for sure.
Bloopers. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. But no. Trying to think of the kind of stuff we said today because I was just basically. I used to be really prideful and thought I didn't need anybody for a little bit. Like when I was young, you know, when you're 22, 23, you almost and playing football in college, you almost think like, man, I'm this, I'm that, I'm the
Feeling
man.
yourself.
I'm
Feeling
feeling
yourself.
myself. But I saw a kid that was in the wrong spot. I was just watching YouTube. It was an Alabama commit, 5-star recruit actually. Early enrollee. He was in the car with one of his friends, and the friend had drugs on him. So, you know, this kid, 18, 19 years old, he crying to the police like that's not mine, that's his. Thinking his friend gonna say, it's his. Friend didn't, so they both go to jail. And he loses his scholarship. Playing for Nick Saban, just enrolled, and they going to Florida to sell some drugs. He had like $7,000 worth of weed or $7,000 worth of money and enough grams to sell, basically. I don't remember the exact number, but a lot of grams, enough intent to sell marijuana. Make good decisions, man. And we all young, and he probably thought he wasn't gonna get caught, and he just bought a new car. It was a fast car, so he tried to run from the police, evade the police. They still caught him, but they wasn't even charging him with that. They was basically like, "We kind of got you back. We know who you are, you know." And but once the friend didn't vouch for the weed, it's your car. You got to go too. So you don't read the room, know who you with, know your friends, know your real friends. Don't get in the car. Don't get in the car and do stupid stuff. Even when you're young, when you're invincible, quote unquote, try to think and tell that person, even if it's your friend, like, hey, I'm trying to level up. I can't do that anymore. So just try to be smart. We've all done crazy stuff. I did crazy stuff. Some people don't get caught, some people do. So do your best to just be smart.
You always run the risk. And you are who you hang around. That's a fact. Be a Light podcast, baby. Make sure you like and subscribe as always. Tap in next week. Be a Light. Still live.